Curiosities about the planet Mercury. Welcome to our new video. In this video, I will introduce you to some curiosities about the planet Mercury. Get ready to learn amazing things about the first planet in our solar system and surprise your friends with these interesting facts. The discovery of this planet dates from the time of the Sumerians, approximately 5,000 years ago. Years later, he received the name of Hermes by the Greeks and Mercury by the Romans, in honor of the speedy messenger god. Its discovery could be made so long ago thanks to the fact that advanced telescopes are not needed to see it. Mercury is the smallest of the 8 planets that make up our solar system. In fact, it is slightly larger than our moon. A curious fact about this planet is that although it is located closest to the Sun, it is not the hottest, still reaching around 430 degrees Celsius during the day. However, the thin atmosphere does not allow it to retain this heat, which is why it has a wide thermal amplitude, reaching up to -180 degrees Celsius at night. It has the fastest speed among the planets in our solar system, traveling at a speed of 47 kilometers per second. Mercury's year has only 88 days. This is due to its proximity to the Sun. Every 3 months you would be 1 year old if you lived on Mercury. The days on this planet are already longer, and it is because Mercury takes around 59 Earth days to turn around its own axis. The day and night cycle is even greater, being equivalent to 176 Earth days. That is, every year on Earth on Mercury, the Sun rises twice. On this planet, there are no seasons of the year. It has an extensive metallic core approximately 3,600 kilometers wide that occupies about 61% of the planet's area, giving it the title of the second densest planet in our solar system. It has a diameter of 4,876 kilometers, about 2.6 times smaller than that of Earth. The Sun from Mercury's perspective would look 3 times bigger than from our planet. And the brightness would be about 7 more intense. Mercury's spin on its own axis is almost perfectly vertical, presenting a tilt of about 2 degrees. This planet has no moon. This planet is considered rocky, being formed by metallic elements, 70%, and silicates, 30%. The surface of this planet is composed of silicon, magnesium, and sulfur. Exploring the surface of Mercury is such a complex challenge that before sending a probe to this planet, the Moon, Mars, and Venus had already been visited. The first probe to succeed in exploring Mercury was NASA's Mariner 10 in 1974. This probe re-explored the planet 2 more times and has managed to map 40% to 45% of the surface. NASA's Messenger spacecraft also investigated the surface of Mercury and discovered possible volcanoes. It is thought that this planet was volcanically active, but when it cooled it contracted, causing various deformations on its surface. These folds are distinguished from craters because they are more recent structures. The ESA, European Space Agency, Bepi-Colombo spacecraft in conjunction with the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, will arrive at Mercury in 2025 and was launched in October 2018. The Sun does not reach some craters that are located in the polar regions of Mercury. In these areas, the probe found a condensed material that looks like ice. These craters are thought to have originated about 4 billion years ago with a meteorite bombardment. This theory is supported by the fact that the planet's thin atmosphere could not stop meteorites. If an observer located at the closest point to the Sun on Mercury's equator were to look at the Sun, they would have the impression that the Sun is not moving, since the orbital speed of the planet is equal to its rotation speed. This event could occur over a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to receive more content of this type. And tell me in the comments, which curiosity did you like the most? Fascinating facts about the planet Pluto. Welcome to our new video. In this video, I will present to you some interesting facts about the planet Pluto. Get ready to learn amazing things about the ninth planet in our solar system and amaze your friends with these interesting facts. Pluto has a glacier the size of Oklahoma and Texas, and an interesting feature is that this glacier is heart-shaped. The name Pluto also follows mythological tradition and pays tribute to the Roman god of the underworld, Pluto. An interesting fact about the name of this planet is that it was named by an 11-year-old girl. The girl's name was Venetia Burney, and she suggested the name to her grandfather, who submitted it to the Lowell Observatory, which ultimately decided to use the name. This planet has, up to now, 5 discovered moons: Charon, Nix, Hydra, Kerberos, and Styx. The largest of them is Charon, which is half the size of Pluto, earning it the title of the largest moon relative to the planet it orbits. An interesting fact about Charon is that it always faces the same surface of Pluto, meaning the other half of Pluto has never seen Charon. One orbit of Charon around Pluto takes the same amount of time as one rotation of the planet, 153 hours. It takes a staggering 248 Earth years to complete one orbit around the Sun. The planet's surface is complex, featuring valleys, mountains, craters, plains, and glaciers. Many people will remember Pluto as the ninth planet in our solar system from their school science classes. However, after the discovery of the Kuiper Belt, an area beyond Neptune, in 2006, the planet was reclassified as a dwarf planet. Pluto is part of the group of objects, icy and rocky, much smaller than the other planets, and dwarf planets that orbit in a disk-like fashion within the Kuiper Belt. It has a width of 2,253 kilometers, which is only about half the size of the United States and 1/6 the size of Earth. It is considered the smallest planet in our solar system. However, when we consider ice dwarfs, Pluto is the largest among them. This planet is located 39 astronomical units from the Sun. Did you know that at this distance, it takes approximately 5.5 hours for sunlight to travel from the Sun to Pluto? Due to this distance, the sunlight on Pluto is only 1/900th as bright as on Earth. This planet also exhibits a retrograde rotation, just like Uranus and Venus, meaning its rotation direction is from east to west. Pluto's atmosphere is thin and consists of gases like nitrogen, carbon monoxide, and methane. The planet's temperature is approximately -232 degrees Celsius, which prevents the existence of liquid water. Only one mission has been able to visit this dwarf planet. However, based on what we have observed about the planet, it lacks the necessary conditions to support life. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to receive more content like this. And tell me in the comments, did you know there were other dwarf planets? Curiosities about the planet Venus. Welcome to our new video. In this video, I will introduce you to some curiosities about the planet Venus. Get ready to learn amazing things about the second planet of our solar system and surprise your friends with these interesting facts. It has been known since ancient times, because, like Mercury, advanced telescopes are not needed to spot it. It's also the brightest planet, which helps its observation. It's just not brighter than the Sun and the Moon. You may be wondering, but why does this planet shine? Does it emit light? And the answer is no. Its atmosphere is very rich in carbon dioxide, which allows it to reflect light. Its glow can be seen at dusk, before sunset, and during the early hours of the night. Did you know that Venus is the hottest planet? Even hotter than the first planet in our solar system, Mercury. This is due to its dense and toxic atmosphere that contains large amounts of carbon dioxide and clouds composed of sulfuric acid. These gases retain heat. The temperature can reach 470 degrees Celsius. A curiosity about this planet is that due to its high temperature, some metals could not exist in their solid form, such as lead. On the surface of Venus you can see mountains and volcanoes, which is why it is considered a very active planet. The size is a little smaller than the Earth. The rotation of this planet is very slow, taking about 243 days to complete just one rotation, giving it the title of planet with the longest day in our solar system. However, the years there go by very quickly due to its proximity to the Sun. To complete the translation around the Sun it takes approximately 225 Earth days. The curious thing about this planet is that one day is longer than the year. The Sun on Venus rises twice a day. This planet has no moon. Many years ago it was believed that it had a satellite that was called Neith, but it was discovered that it is not true. What was thought to be the satellite was just a star in the right place and time. It is considered a rocky and small planet. Venus rotates in the opposite direction to Earth and most of the planets. And therefore the Sun rises in the west and sets in the east. The reason for the inversion of sense is unknown, but it is thought to have been due to a collision with asteroids in the past. A study published in Nature affirms that it is the dense atmosphere and with great movement that allows this planet to rotate, otherwise it would forever look at the Sun in a static way. They also point out that the gravity of a larger body can prevent the rotation of a smaller one. The atmosphere of this planet is much more integrated with the planet itself than that of the other planets. It has such fast winds that it takes just 4 days for the atmosphere to circle the planet, which also slows down its rotation. The winds on this planet can reach up to 724 kilometers per hour, a speed approximately 4 times faster than a tornado on Earth. The name Venus comes from the Roman goddess of beauty, fertility, and love. And in contrast to her homage, it does not have a very friendly or receptive environment, but rather chaotic. There are also certain similarities between Venus and Earth, such as the dense atmosphere and clouds. Due to the density of the atmosphere, meteorites tend to disintegrate abruptly. The pressure on Venus is also extreme, being 90 times stronger than that on Earth and the highest atmospheric pressure in our solar system. And guess? The atmosphere is also guilty of this feature. Several spacecraft have already visited this planet, including Mariner 2, Mariner 5, Mariner 10, Pioneer Venus 1, Pioneer Venus 2, and Magellan, an orbiter. To inspect the surface of Venus they have used radars, because its dense atmosphere impairs the observation of the surface. It is thought that there are approximately 1,600 volcanoes on the surface of Venus. It is not known if all these volcanoes are active. When investigating the surface of this planet they have found a crater that is 72 kilometers wide. Up to the present time no water was found on this planet. It has 2 main plateaus as continents, Ishtar Terra and Aphrodite Terra. Ishtar Terra is similar in size to Australia and is home to the largest mountain on Venus, larger than Mount Everest. Already Aphrodite Terra is about the size of South America. Between Ishtar Terra and Aphrodite Terra there are several depressions. A curious fact is that due to the chaotic scenario of Venus, the existence of life was not believed to be possible, although a discovery aroused the spark of doubt. They found phosphine on the nebular surface. This molecule exists on Earth and is generated by microbes. NASA scientists say that there is a possibility that in the past Venus had an ocean and had more habitable conditions. The only manifestation of water is in the clouds in the form of vapor and in a very small quantity, more or less 200 parts per million. Even so, it was reported by the Venus Express probe in 2008 that on Venus there is still an amount of hydrogen being dispersed into space. Not having a protective layer, it is very possible that the water has evaporated, dispersing the hydrogen into space and grouping the oxygen into carbon dioxide. Because it is a very dry planet, the rocks are heavier than those of the Earth. Venus has phases just like the Moon. Actually all the planets in the solar system also have phases. The phases of this planet had already been observed in 1610 by Galileo. It is in full phase when it is behind the Sun, that is, it cannot be seen from Earth. In the new phase it is between the Earth and the Sun. Venus is the closest planet in distance from Earth and has reached a maximum proximity of 39,514,827 kilometers in 1850. It is estimated that in the year 2401 there will be a similar approach. A curious fact is that it is much more difficult to land on Venus than on Mars. The variable atmospheric density of Venus makes atmospheric braking maneuvers very difficult. The first attempt to investigate Venus was made by the Venera 1 space probe in 1961, but it was lost en route. The first probe to fly over the planet and collect data on it was Mariner 2 in 1962. Venera 3 was the first probe to land on Venus. It crashed on the planet in 1966. During the landing the communication system failed, for which reason data about the planet could not be received. Venera 4 in 1967 was the first probe to transmit data from another planet. During its stay it was able to measure pressures, temperatures and densities. Over the years several probes were able to collect data on Venus. There is a research model with crew members on Venus suggested by Sergei Zytomyrsky of not landing on the planet, but building a kind of floating city in the portions of the atmosphere that most closely resemble Earth's. At a distance of 5 kilometers from the surface, the temperature and pressure of Venus are similar to that of the Earth. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to receive more content of this type. And tell me in the comments, what is your favorite planet? Curiosities about the planet Earth. Welcome to our new video. In this video, I will introduce you to some curiosities about the planet Earth. Get ready to learn amazing things about the third planet of our solar system and surprise your friends with these interesting facts. Our planet is considered terrestrial, small and rocky with a dynamic surface. Water covers 70% of the Earth's surface. We inhabit the third planet of our solar system, located between Venus and Mars. The name Earth has its origins from the Latin terra. Although our planet is the only one in our solar system not literally named after a deity, in Greek mythology there is a goddess named Gaia who personifies the Earth. In Egyptian mythology you can also observe a god named Geb. The Earth is not perfectly round, it has various bumps and variations in its shape. That is why its shape is called a geoid. These imperfections in the distribution of the planet's mass cause small variations in the gravitational field. It is the fifth largest planet in our solar system. In addition to oxygen, the Earth's atmosphere contains large amounts of nitrogen. Our atmosphere also has a protective function and disintegrates a large part of the meteoroids that approach it. Thanks to the atmosphere, the planet manages to maintain its temperatures, which allows life. Up to the present moment, the Earth is the only known planet that has all the necessary characteristics for life. It is also the only one that up to now has water in a liquid state on its surface. Did you know that the largest living structure on Earth is coral reefs? The inner portion of the Earth has a semi-solid consistency due to high pressures and temperatures. The Earth is 4.55 billion years old, but life only existed after a billion years. Both the ozone layer and the magnetic field help protect us from harmful radiation from the sun. It is thought that life on this planet will continue to exist for another 500 million years, then the luminosity of the sun will grow to such an extent that it will affect the biosphere and end up destroying it. Not only is the Earth's surface constantly changing, but the mantle is also altering. An example of this is the post-glacial rebound. When glaciers covered the ground in the last ice age, the mantle had more weight on it and so it sank. Now that the ice has melted, the mantle is moving back into position and raising the ground. This phenomenon can be observed in Canada, Greenland and Scandinavia. Have you already wondered why every 4 years we have a leap year? It turns out that a day on Earth is not exactly 24 hours and 1 year on Earth is not 365 fixed days either. Actually, a year is 265.25 days and leap years are used to correct this margin. 365.25 solar years is equivalent to 1 sidereal year. The moon moves away from Earth 4 centimeters every year. Our planet is the only one that only has one moon, the other planets either have none or several. Although the moon is the only natural satellite that orbits our planet, there are more than 10 orbital elements around the Earth, with 2020 CD3 being a temporary Earth natural satellite. In other words, this small asteroid entered Earth's orbit indefinitely and will cease to be a satellite at some point. The magnetic North Pole is not fixed like the geographic one. In 1990 it was identified that the position of magnetic north was in Canada and it moved at a speed of 15 kilometers per year. Since then it has been noticed that this speed has been increasing, reaching approximately 55 kilometers a year and going in the direction of Siberia. We have all heard that the lungs of our planet are the forests, but did you know that the greatest amount of oxygen actually comes from the oceans? Phytoplankton are the cellular organisms that produce between 50 and 85% of the oxygen that is released into the atmosphere. Earth's primordial atmosphere was produced by volcanic activity and crustal outgassing. Our planet is the only terrestrial planet that has active tectonic plates. The biosphere houses all the biomes of our planet and is seen from an integrated global perspective. What separates our atmosphere from space is the so-called Kármán line, and it is located at an altitude of 100 kilometers. Iron is the most present element, 32%, followed by oxygen, 30%, and silicon, 15%. How did life begin to form on Earth? Chemical processes are thought to have given rise to a self-replicating molecule portrayed as a universal common ancestor. Photosynthesis allowed organisms to survive on energy from the sun and release oxygen into the atmosphere. This oxygen provided the formation of the ozone layer. It is also thought that the constant escape of hydrogen molecules into space due to their small molecular weight may have helped in the accumulation of oxygen in the atmosphere. Hydrogen is a reducing agent, and its loss allowed the Earth to go from a reducing state to an oxidizing state. With the current composition of the atmosphere, much of the hydrogen is converted to water before escaping into space. The small cells were incorporated into the larger ones, giving rise to eukaryotic cells. Then they evolved into multicellular organisms thanks to cell specialization. For an object to orbit around the Earth, it needs to be within the gravitational sphere of influence, which is about 1,500,000 kilometers in radius. If they are further away than this, they will be pulled in by the Sun's gravitational influence. Our solar system is 28,000 light-years from the Milky Way galaxy. The tilt of the Earth allows different amounts of light to reach different areas of the planet during the year, which makes seasonal changes possible. The solstices determine the seasons. When the Earth is tilted more towards the Sun, we have the summer solstice. When the inclination is to the opposite side, we have the winter solstice. Although we live on this planet, not everything is known about it, and there are about 4,550 satellites that are gathering information so that we can learn more about our home every day. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to receive more content of this type. And tell me in the comments, what is your favorite place on Earth? Curiosities about Mars. Welcome to our new video. In this video, I will present to you some curiosities about the planet Mars. Get ready to learn amazing things about the fourth planet in our solar system and amaze your friends with these interesting facts. It is located between Earth and Jupiter. Its existence could be confirmed since ancient times, as advanced telescopes are not needed to see it. The planet's name honors the Roman god of war, passion, and male sexuality. It has two moons, Deimos, terror in English, and Phobos, fear in English. Both names have their origin in Greek and are two children of Ares and Aphrodite. It is the second smallest planet in our solar system, larger only than Mercury. This planet is about half the size of Earth. Mars is a small, rocky planet covered in reddish dust. When we hear the name red planet, we initially think of fire, but contrary to our assumption, this planet is not hot but rather cold. Temperatures can vary by region, ranging from 68 degrees Fahrenheit to -202 degrees Fahrenheit. The planet's red color comes from the large amount of iron oxide in its soil. Our neighboring planet also has weather, seasons, canyons, and volcanoes. Only activity in the planet's atmosphere has been observed, its surface is inactive. Mars' atmosphere is thin and primarily composed of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon. Did you know there is water on Mars? Scientists have noticed possible signs that Mars experienced floods in the past, but now the only existing water on the planet is thin clouds and frozen dust. Evidence of salty water on slopes has also been found. There are channels on its surface reminiscent of rivers and streams. Indications of erosion by water and wind can also be observed. The theory that there were large amounts of water on Mars in the past is supported by the fact that, like Venus, Mars water contains 5 times more deuterium than Earth's water. Light water tends to be lost in space, while heavier water tends to stay on the planet. However, another theory that Mars has always been a dry planet and water had little impact on its surface arrangement is gaining ground. The search for water on planets is important, as it is essential for life. Therefore, it cannot be determined at this moment if there was any existence of life in the past. Theories exist that dormant microorganisms might still be found in Mars ice, awaiting more favorable conditions for life, but there is still no evidence of this. A study by the Viking probe found chemical activity that could be microbial, but NASA refuted this theory due to the extremely dry conditions, ultraviolet rays, and soil chemistry preventing the formation of life in the planet's soil. Mars clouds are not all white like Earth's. There are 3 colors of clouds: yellow, white, and blue. The color depends on the composition. In winter, there are clouds with very fine ice crystals formed from atmospheric vapor. This planet has 2 polar ice caps, high areas covered in ice, mainly composed of water. A day on Mars is almost the same length as one on Earth and lasts 24.6 hours. However, a year on Mars is almost twice as long as on Earth, taking 687 days to complete a year on the red planet. Over the years, various expeditions have managed to visit this planet. An interesting fact is that it's the only planet to have been visited by rovers, robotic vehicles. If Mars is your favorite planet, you will enjoy a NASA website that provides real-time data about this planet. On this website, you can see the temperature, distance from the Sun, latest discoveries, atmospheric conditions, and more. You can find the link to this website in the description. On the surface of Mars lies the second largest mountain in our entire solar system, Olympus Mons. This shield-shaped area harbors a volcano and reaches a height of 21.9 kilometers. Despite its height, it couldn't be seen with ancient telescopes, and an interesting fact is that it was once believed to be just a white spot on Mars. Olympus Mons is much wider than it is tall, so it doesn't have a steep incline. Tharsis is a volcanic plateau located in the equatorial region of the planet. In this region, there was a huge accumulation of lava that gave rise to the Tharsis Montes. This area houses several volcanoes. Olympus Mons is located within Tharsis. The orbit of Mars never crosses that of Earth around the Sun, which is why it is considered one of the superior planets, just like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Mars' core is similar to Earth's, meaning it has a dense metallic core surrounded by less dense metals. Compared to Earth, Mars has 11% of our mass, 53% of our diameter, and 28% of our surface area. An interesting fact is that while we have oceans on our planet covering about 70% of our surface, the two planets have practically the same amount of walkable surface. Mars, like other planets in our solar system, also displays scars on its surface from intense meteorite bombardments in the past. The transition between the northern and southern portions of this planet is very distinct. The northern portion is deeper and has younger formations, while the southern part of the planet is higher and its structures are older. The reason for this surface configuration remains unknown. Analysis of Martian soil has confirmed that its composition is similar to that of Earth and contains compounds necessary for plant growth, such as sodium, magnesium, chlorine, and potassium. Do you know what the science that studies the surface of Mars is called? It's called areography, and the name comes from Ares, the god of war. Dust storms with winds of up to 150 kilometers per hour can assail this planet for weeks or even months. These storms are so intense that they can darken the entire planet. The absence of a magnetic field allows solar wind to enter the atmosphere, interacting with ions in the atmosphere, increasing their acceleration, which in turn increases the speed of these ions and allows them to escape the planet. Scientists have found traces of methane gas in Mars' atmosphere. This unstable gas tends to disappear within a few years, so it's believed that there might be some methane production on Mars, although the origin of this gas has not yet been confirmed. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to receive more content like this. And tell me in the comments, what do you like the most about the universe? Curiosities about Jupiter. Welcome to our new video. In this video, I will present to you some curiosities about the planet Jupiter. Get ready to learn amazing things about the fifth planet of our solar system and amaze your friends with this interesting data. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, being 11 times larger than Earth, yet less dense than our planet. However, it isn't massive enough to start burning, even though it resembles a star. It has been known since ancient times, as advanced telescopes aren't necessary to observe it. Mythology. The planet was named after the Roman god Jupiter, equivalent to Zeus in Greek mythology. It has various swirling clouds. The Great Red Spot is a storm that has been raging on this planet for hundreds of years. This storm is larger than Earth. The Little Red Spot is more recent and emerged from the fusion of three smaller ovals, being about half the size of the Great Red Spot. In addition to this storm, the planet also has a dozen other strong winds that can reach speeds of up to 539 kilometers per hour. It also has several cyclone storms at its poles, 8 at the North Pole and 5 at the South Pole. 5 years later, these cyclones are in the same position, which is why they are considered an extremely resilient atmospheric phenomenon. These cyclones interact with each other, but the cyclones at the center bring them back to their position, meaning they oscillate in a state of equilibrium. As it's a gaseous planet, it doesn't have a solid surface, but it might have a solid core about the size of Earth. It hasn't been confirmed yet whether it has a solid core or a super hot, dense, thick liquid. It is primarily composed of gases, hydrogen and helium, similar to the Sun. In the deeper parts of the atmosphere, the temperature and pressure increase, causing hydrogen to exist in liquid form. It has so much liquid hydrogen that it's considered the planet with the largest ocean in our entire solar system. Scientists believe that near the center of the planet, the pressure is so great that it could expel electrons from the hydrogen ions, turning the liquid into an electrical conductor like metal. Did you know that Jupiter also has rings? They can't be seen very well because they are too faint and made of dust. It's thought that these rings formed from the collision between meteorites and the moons closest to the planet. The swirls and stripes we see on the planet are icy clouds of ammonia and water. The clouds on this planet aren't all white like those on Earth, but can be colored: red, brown, yellow, or white. The atmosphere of this planet is very dense. A day on Jupiter is more than twice as short as one on Earth, lasting 10 hours. It also has the shortest day in our entire solar system. However, the years are much longer. A year on Jupiter is 11.8 years on Earth. Around Jupiter, 80 moons have been observed. Due to the large number of moons, it resembles a miniature solar system. Of the 80 moons, the 4 largest are Europa, Io, Callisto, and Ganymede, discovered by Galileo Galilei in 1610. Some of the moons still don't have names. Io is the most volcanically active body in our solar system. Ganymede is the largest moon in our solar system, even larger than Mercury. It lies between Mars and Saturn. Various orbiters, probes, and spacecraft have managed to investigate this planet, including Voyager 1 and 2, Pioneer 10 and 11, Cassini, Juno, and New Horizons. It's thought that the existence of life on Jupiter wouldn't be possible due to the planet's extreme and volatile conditions. An interesting fact, however, is that some of its moons could potentially support it. Europa is the most promising for life out of all the sites in our solar system. Evidence has been observed that it has a vast ocean beneath its icy crust, where conditions suitable for life could exist. With an inclination of only 13 degrees, it doesn't have as extreme seasons as other planets. This planet formed about 4.5 billion years ago when gravity attracted gases and dust. Being a gaseous planet formed by swirls of gases and liquids, there is no surface for a spacecraft to land on to investigate the planet. The swirls, temperature, and pressure also don't allow a spacecraft to fly unscathed. The sky of this planet reaches 71 kilometers and has 3 layers of clouds. The outermost part is made of ammonia ice. The middle layer contains crystals of ammonium hydrosulfide. The deepest portion is composed of frozen water and vapor. The thick, vividly colored layers are made of sulfur and phosphorus. Jupiter's magnetosphere extends from 1 to 3 million kilometers towards the Sun and 1 trillion kilometers towards Saturn. Jupiter's magnetic field is 16 to 54 times more powerful than Earth's and captures charged particles, accelerating them to high speeds, creating radiation that bombards the inner moons and spacecraft attempting to approach the planet. In the planet's poles, incredible auroras caused by the magnetic field can also be observed. In Jupiter's atmosphere, cells similar to the Ferrel cells have been found, which influence our climate on Earth. However, unlike Earth, where we have 1 in each hemisphere, Jupiter has 8. One curiosity about this planet is that it's so large that if you add up the masses of all the other planets in our solar system, Jupiter would still surpass them, presenting a mass 2.48 times greater. It's one of the outer planets, meaning it isn't located between Earth and the Sun. It takes 6 years to reach Jupiter from Earth. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel to receive more content like this. And tell me in the comments, what impressed you the most about Jupiter? Curious facts about Saturn. Welcome to our new video. In this video, I will present you with some curiosities about the planet Saturn. Get ready to learn amazing things about the 6th planet in our solar system and amaze your friends with these interesting facts. This planet has a complex system of rings surrounding it. There are other planets in our solar system that also have rings, such as Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune, but none of them have rings as spectacular as Saturn's. These 7 rings are composed of millions of pieces of ice and rock. It has been known since ancient times, just like the previous planets we have seen in our series about the universe, because advanced telescopes are not needed to see it. It is the last planet that can be seen without the need for advanced telescopes from Earth. The name of this planet is a tribute to the Roman god Saturn, the god of agriculture, harvest, and time. Did you know that Saturday is named after Saturn? It is a giant, gaseous planet, just like Jupiter. Did you know that part of Saturn's mass came from Earth? About 2 tons. It is the second largest planet in our solar system, in size only surpassed by Jupiter. In fact, Saturn is so large that it takes more than 9 Earths to reach its diameter, and this does not include the rings. It is mainly composed of gases, hydrogen and helium. In total, the planet has 7 rings that are not attached to each other, they have divisions and spaces between them. A curious fact is that when Galileo Galilei first observed Saturn, he believed that the planet had wings or that 2 bodies were orbiting the planet. Years later, in 1659, it was discovered to have rings with the help of more advanced telescopes. The 7 rings of the planet rotate around it at a speed of 48,000 kilometers per hour. The rings extend to a maximum distance of 282,000 kilometers and can reach a maximum thickness of 10 kilometers. The rings were named alphabetically, but they do not follow an order from outside to inside or vice versa. Instead, they were named according to their discovery, with A, B, and C being the largest and D, E, F, and G being the thinnest. That is, if we look at them from outside to Saturn, we will see E, G, F, A, B, C, and D. It is estimated that the formation of the rings occurred between 10 and 100 million years ago. Scientists believe that in 300 million years, there is a possibility that the rings will disappear due to Saturn's gravity, which could attract the rings and pulverize them into its atmosphere. Thanks to its rings, many consider Saturn one of the most beautiful planets. But did you know that besides being adorned with rings, it also has auroras? This phenomenon is due to the planet's powerful magnetosphere. It is assumed that particles ejected by the planet's moons and the planet's rapid rotation cause the auroras. On Earth, this phenomenon is associated with solar activity. The smaller moons, Prometheus and Pandora, interact with the F ring and are often called the shepherds of the F ring. If Saturn is your favorite planet, check the video description because I will leave a link to download NASA's official free ebook about Saturn. The planet is battered by strong storms, and its winds can reach speeds of 500 meters per second. The lightning in these storms can be up to 1,000 times more powerful than those on Earth. Saturn's atmosphere is dense. The planet is considered the least dense in our solar system, as it has a huge volume due to its large size but a small mass because it is a gaseous planet. It is even less dense than water. It is located at a distance of approximately 1.4 trillion kilometers from the Sun. A day on Saturn is approximately 10.7 hours on Earth. And it takes the equivalent of 29 Earth years to complete one orbit, making it the slowest planet in our solar system. Being a gas giant, like Jupiter, it also does not have a solid surface, but it is believed to have a solid core. Saturn has about 145 moons. 53 are already known, and the others are awaiting confirmation. Can there be life on Saturn? The environment of Saturn as we know it is not capable of providing favorable conditions for life, but some of its moons could. Expeditions that have visited Saturn: Pioneer 11, Voyagers 1 and 2, and Cassini. Voyager 1 managed to capture the first high-resolution images of Saturn. Cassini successfully orbited Saturn 294 times from 2004 to 2017, when it was intentionally vaporized in the planet's atmosphere. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to receive more content like this. And tell me in the comments, what aspect of the universe would you like to learn about? Curious facts about the planet Uranus. Welcome to our new video. In this video, I will present to you some interesting facts about the planet Uranus. Get ready to learn surprising things about the 7th planet in our solar system and amaze your friends with this fascinating facts. The rotation of this planet has an inclination of 90 degrees from its orbit. It's easier to notice this if we compare it to other planets that have rings to use as a reference. For example, Saturn's rings are oriented on the horizontal axis when we look at them, but Uranus, with its 90-degree rotation, has its rings on the vertical axis. Uranus's core is rocky and small. It has the 3rd largest diameter in our solar system, smaller than Saturn and Jupiter. It's approximately 4 times larger than Earth. However, due to its distance from our planet, its discovery was only possible with the help of more advanced telescopes in 1781 by the astronomer William Herschel. An interesting fact about the discovery of Uranus is that at that time, it was thought to be a star or a comet. Did you know that Uranus was almost named Georgium Sidus? 2 years after its discovery, it was confirmed to be a planet, thanks to the astronomer Johann Alert Bode. Herschel wanted to name it this way in honor of King George III. Bode suggested the name Uranus, which was accepted by the scientific community, maintaining the tradition of using mythological names. Uranus is the Greek god of the sky, also known as Salus by the Romans. Did you know that the radioactive element uranium was named in 1789 because of the planet Uranus's name? The planet is located at a distance of 2.9 billion kilometers from the Sun. A day on Uranus takes approximately 17 hours on Earth. It takes 84 Earth years to complete one orbit around the Sun. Uranus is an ice giant. When we hear the word ice, we usually think of a completely frozen planet, but did you know that a significant part of its mass is hot? Nevertheless, it is composed of materials that make up ice, such as water, methane, and ammonia. In fact, methane is responsible for the planet's bluish color, as this gas filters out the red color. Being an ice giant, Uranus also lacks a solid surface. Its surface is composed of swirling liquids. Uranus's atmosphere is primarily composed of molecular hydrogen, atomic helium, with a small amount of methane. The extreme atmospheric pressure and temperature of the planet would prevent a spacecraft from entering it without being destroyed. It is the second least dense planet in our solar system, with Saturn being the least dense of all. Uranus has 27 known moons so far. An interesting fact is that all of them are named after characters from William Shakespeare and Alexander Pope. As we have seen with Saturn and Jupiter, Uranus also has rings. This planet has 13 known rings. An interesting fact about these rings is that the innermost ones are dark and narrow, while the outer ones are wider, brighter, and more colorful. From the inside out, they are Zeta, 6, 5, 4, Alpha, Beta, Eta, Gamma, Delta, Lambda, Epsilon, Nu, and Mu. The formation of Uranus occurred about 4.5 billion years ago, like the other planets in our solar system. It is believed that, like Neptune, Uranus formed closer to the Sun and moved to its current position about 4 billion years ago. Regarding expeditions, so far only the Voyager 2 probe was able to pass by the planet, but no spacecraft has orbited this planet to study it in depth. However, with the information we have, this planet would not be capable of providing suitable conditions for life. This planet, like Venus, has a peculiarity in its orbit. Most planets orbit the Sun from west to east, except for these two planets that orbit in reverse. It is located between Saturn and Neptune. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to receive more content like this. And tell me in the comments, which planet would you like to visit? Curious facts about the planet Neptune. Welcome to our new video. In this video, I will present to you some interesting facts about the planet Neptune. Get ready to learn amazing things about the 8th planet in our solar system and amaze your friends with these fascinating facts. One curious fact about Neptune is that it was the first planet discovered by mathematicians and not by telescopes. The reason is that this distant planet is located at 1 astronomical unit from Earth and 30 astronomical units from the Sun. To give you an idea, 1 astronomical unit is approximately equal to 150 million kilometers. In fact, in 1612, Galileo Galilei believed that this planet was a fixed star based on what he could observe through his telescope. The existence of Neptune has been questioned because Uranus's orbit did not behave as expected. With such a distance, you might be wondering, how many years does Neptune take to orbit the Sun? And the answer is 165 years. Even though the days are shorter, this planet takes only 16 hours to complete one rotation. The sunlight on Earth is 900 times stronger than on Neptune. The name Neptune honors the Roman god of the seas. It is considered the densest planet among all giant planets, gas and ice. It doesn't have a solid surface but has a small rocky core. It is the third largest planet in our solar system by mass. This planet has 14 moons up to the present moment. An interesting fact about its moons is that they are named in honor of ocean gods and nymphs from Greek mythology. An intriguing fact about Neptune's moon Triton is that it rotates in the opposite direction to the planet's rotation, and it is also the only large moon in our solar system that does so. Therefore, it is believed to have been an independent object in the universe at some point, and Neptune captured it in its orbit. Other aspects of this moon also capture the attention of researchers, such as the fact that it is extremely cold, reaching -235 degrees Celsius, while also having geysers that eject material resembling ice. Over the years, a warming in its atmosphere has been observed, but the cause remains unknown. Like other giant planets, Neptune also has rings. In fact, it has 5 rings named Gal, Leverrier, Lassell, Arago, and Adams when observed from the inside out. A curious fact is that, unlike other ringed planets, Neptune also has arc rings, meaning there are areas in its rings where the particles that compose them are grouped, forming arcs. Its atmosphere is primarily composed of 3 gases: molecular hydrogen, atomic helium, and methane. Thanks to methane, which absorbs red rays and reflects blue ones back into space, this planet appears blue. It is a dark, icy giant with supersonic winds. This planet has the strongest winds in our solar system. It is believed that there may be a very hot water ocean on Neptune. Is there life on Neptune? Based on what has been investigated about this planet, it cannot support life. Have we been able to visit this distant planet yet? The only spacecraft that was able to visit Neptune was Voyager 2. An interesting fact about this planet is that sometimes it is even farther from the Sun than Pluto. This phenomenon occurs because Pluto's orbit is oval and sometimes crosses Neptune's orbit. You might be wondering now, if their orbits cross, could they collide? The answer is no. For every 2 orbits of Pluto, Neptune completes 3 orbits, which prevents the 2 planets from approaching. Neptune has an inclination of 20 degrees, similar to that of Earth and Mars, indicating that the planet experiences seasons similar to those on Earth. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to receive more content like this. And tell me in the comments, what aspect of the universe would you like to learn about? Curiosities about the planet Mercury. Welcome to our new video. In this video, I will introduce you to some curiosities about the planet Mercury. Get ready to learn amazing things about the first planet